Hi, and welcome back. In this lecture, we'll be talking about pseudo classes and selectors. So let's say, for example, a pseudo class called hover. Each of these divs have a particular style. And when I hover above each of them, I want them to have a different color, background color, and a different font style. So let's get started. Right click. So let's get started. I'll delete my file. I'll open my border code. I'll copy this. Right click here, new file, index.html, paste that there. Sorry, this is what I was doing when I was trying to, the little lecture I was trying to create. So we're deleting all of that. So our code should be like our previous section on the border section, the border lecture. All right, refresh, and this is what we had previously. So now, let's say I have, let me add another div. Add another div. Now I want these two divs to have these two first divs to have a color of red. I want the first div to have a color of red, the second div to have a color of red, the third div to have a color of blue. All right, I'll start by writing down the selector. I'll say div1, give a class here to div1. And here I'll say div2. So for me to select div1, I would start with the selector, the dot, and div1, save, and I refresh. Let's see what happens. Realize the two first divs have a color of blue. So let me select, I'll just copy this and select div2. Save, refresh. But I want div2 to have a color of red, background color of red. And there we go. All right. One of the sections in the HTML sections, we mentioned IDs. Now, I can use this, an ID instead of a class. And here, instead of the dot, I'll use the hash. Realize it's still the same. All right. Now, let's say I want that when I hover over this, I'm good. This second div, the blue one, I want to have a background color of white. So what I'll do is this. I'll copy this. I'll put down here and use what they call a selector over. Now select, refresh. Yeah, it's going to, and I want it to be of white. However, I want it to change to white. That's how it changes to white. I want my color to change to white, still to black. Sorry. But this last one doesn't change. So that is what they call a pseudo class. So let's look at its syntax. So pseudo classes have a particular syntax. So it's pseudo class, and they have a particular syntax, which is going to be the selector and the pseudo class. That's how that's how it's represented. So let's spell today. That's how it's represented. So yeah, the selector is diff1, and the hover and the pseudo class is a hover class. So let's refresh again. Let's see what happens. So let's say when you hover over it, I want you to have a cursor, also of pointer. Say when you hover, it changes to cursor of hover of pointer. And when you come here, it changes back to our normal cursor. So that's that. Now let's work on another pseudo class called first child. So I will select the diff1, and I want all diff1s to have I want all their first paragraphs. So here is the first paragraph here. Here there is no first paragraph. So let's put a paragraph here and say me. Save, refresh, and there we go. Now I want all diff1's first paragraph to have a first child. I'm targeting all the first paragraphs in diff1, and I want it to have a color of let me say black. Save, refresh, and so here we go. All the paragraphs in diff1 changes to black. So here P is a first child in diff1. The P here is not the first child in diff1. So if I'm to remove this and replace it up here, see what happens. It changes to black because P becomes the first child of diff1. So let's go to the MSDN doc and look at pseudo classes. There's so many pseudo classes. We have the hover, and this is the syntax, the property, the value. There's so many of them.